Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing 5 tips that you should apply into your Megaminx solves in order to get SUB-50. So let's get right into this. So just as an introduction, I personally average about 48 on the Megaminx and my official average is also 48. And yeah, I really enjoy solving the Megaminx and I really think that getting good at the Megaminx is not as hard as it seems. So a lot of people are scared of the Megaminx because okay, it has 12 faces and 5 sides in each face. Like it's a bit daunting, I guess. But yeah, when you really look at it, it's not too hard. In fact, you should check out this video where I talk about the Megaminx in particular and how to get good at it or how people solve it. So that being said, let me get into the tips, starting with tip number 1. During inspection, even if you can't solve your entire star because it's a tough star, you want to be able to locate every piece at least, and also try and locate at least one pair to track. So that's my first tip. The reason that helps is because obviously there's a lot of pieces and a lot of places that pieces can be on the Megaminx, and it can be hard to track things in real time because things are moving, things are happening at the back and the front everywhere. So yeah, ideally what you want to do is try and track more than one piece. So I have this blue here, I see this red here. So that's going to be an easy solution. I can just get the red up here and move the blue over to solve all of that. And then I can look at this yellows here, pretty easy. And then greens here, which is also easy, like easy to know where it is. And purples over here, which is next to blue, but I can be a little creative here in how I solve this. So what I'm going to do in this case is I notice my 5 pieces are here, 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 and here. So once I have that in my head, all I'm going to do is I know blue and purple are 2 away and purple is on 2 to the left of blue on this side. So I'm going to do this and that to solve purple with respect to blue. Once I do that, I'm going to do this again. So now I have this ready to be solved, but then I'll just pick red and do that first. Also, I completely forgot to mention I also saw this pair. I think this was really easy to see, so I'm sure even you saw this and you were just waiting for me to point it out. So yeah, this is the pair that I'll be tracking. So anyway, I'm going to solve that, do this to solve green. I remember yellow was back here, so it shouldn't be hard. It's right here. I thought it was there, my bad. But yeah, it's right here. Shouldn't be hard to solve, so I'll just do that. And then the pair that I tracked is still here. So remember, I didn't have to exactly track the state of the pair, just the location of the pieces, because it helps me to flow seamlessly into the F2L step. And while I'm doing that, look ahead is really important in this step because a lot of times you'll have pieces that are nearby, but then a lot of times you'll have pieces that are like nearby but out of sight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you need to be able to look ahead really, really effectively on Megaminx. And I recommend for that, just keeping the Megaminx at a safe distance from you, not too close. If the Megaminx is too close, you're not going to be able to see much. So yeah, by safe distance, I just mean like a decent distance. And remember that if you don't have solved F2L pairs in certain slots, you can pretty much free solve Megaminx pairs. Like if I have this pair, I see a lot of people doing this. I don't have to do this to pair it. I just need to do this, and then I know this has to go all the way back here. So I'm going to do that to set it up here. And this gets me into actually what my next tip is, which is applying back inserts. So back inserts are something that are really, really effective in Megaminx because for this to go all the way here, normally I would do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 moves. But what you can also do is something like this. And what that helps with is A, look ahead. Now I can already see my next pair, which is red-green. And also B, you don't have to turn the cube all the way there, you're saving a lot of rotations. C, moves. So like there's so many benefits to just learning back inserts and being good with them. And I also want to suggest back inserts are useful throughout your solve, not just for F2L, even in your S2L step. Okay, that being said, I looked ahead to this pair. And while I do that, I also see this red blue and this red blue here. So I know that's going to be easy to do that. And again, notice here, the really important thing is I don't rotate and solve it like a usual like F2L pair. I just, where I am is where I solve it from. And I see the last pair here while I'm doing that. So something like that. That's it. So that's F2L done. And notice that this was unintentional. But anyway, notice that it was very effortless and seamless. Both of those things are very important when it comes to Megaminx, especially the initial stages where you have like a lot of unsolved pieces. That's where you need to be the most tactile and the most dexterous with your solving. So this brings me to the next step. So now you're done with F2L and you're on S2L. So for S2L, I would recommend pick a color order. I wouldn't say this works for everyone or something like that, but it definitely works for the majority and it works for me very well. Picking a color order helps you to carry forward that look ahead mentality because now you know exactly what color you're looking for. You're not just scrambling around the cube to find the best pair. And in fact, in my opinion, most of the times that's not the best way to go about things. Pick a color order and stick to it. The other thing is you want to start look ahead really, really early. Like when you're on your 4th or 5th pair, for me, my color order starts with yellow. So as soon as I'm done with my 4th or 5th pair, I'm already looking for the color, for the 2 yellow edges. Like I'm not wasting any time over there. So this is a really important part of it. You just don't want to have any like cuts in your solve. So yeah, I'm just gonna solve the edges and then do the F12 here. So again, notice how I'm pairing it in a very free manner. I'm not really, and also I can rotate here. There's nothing solved here at all. So yeah, you can just rotate, you can pair however you'd like, and then I see this and this. So yeah, that's yellow done. And then I go counterclockwise. So I go to purple, green, red, and then blue. So this part of my solve is usually the fastest because you have a lot of things solved back here. So your focus can be shifted to a smaller and smaller portion of the cube. So in my opinion, through S2L, your speed should get faster and faster. Your turning speed and your recognition, everything like that, everything to do with that stuff should just keep getting faster because you have so much freedom, and also you have much lesser places where pieces can be. And oops, I made a mistake right there, but anyway, I'm just gonna insert this here like that. And then I also find that reducing rotations on Megaminx is really helpful. That's not really a tip for SUB-50 or anything, but yeah, in general, once you're getting faster, you'll tend to do that anyway. That brings me to my last part, S2L to LL transition. Why is this important? So the first thing you need to know is if you don't know full OLL and PLL, which is a bit crazy to demand from someone who's at an intermediate level. Personally, I only do 4-look last layer, so I'm not great at last layer, but I will say that my transitions to last layer are 100% of the time seamless because you can always tell what the orientation of your edges will be. And if there's only 3 possible orientations, right? So as I'm approaching my last pair, I already see the orientation of my gray edges. And I already know that when I insert this pair, this will be oriented on the top. And I'll have like a pattern where this is here, and this remains here. So I have like a sort of an inverted L shape with three pieces here. And I can immediately go into that. That being said, you need to always know the orientation of your edges. It's very, very important that you transition into your last layer as seamlessly as possible. And there's only 3 possible cases, right? There's that, there's this, which is the line case, and then there's this, which is the single piece case. And these are also really easy to see coming. Like, if you have something like this, you know it's going to be a single piece case. And then accordingly, you can just do the combination of that. I don't find that to be too slow. And then, yeah, the next step is naturally, for me, it's just OLL, right? And then the last step. So here is where I'd recommend. So unless you're learning full PLL, in which case this video is probably not going to be that helpful to you, because if you're learning full PLL, you're almost certainly like sub 40 or low 40, I would assume. So this step, you just do like, yeah, you just see the edges and I see this cycles clockwise. So I know it's going to be one of these bad boys, and that makes all of them. This is the last step, and this is the last hack that I have for you. So if you also use 4-look last layer and now you're left with CPLL, I would recommend do not rotate the cube like this and then start doing all of this. It's not bad, like this way of doing it is not horrible, but I'd recommend learning this finger trick. I learned this early when I was learning how to solve a Megaminx, and it has been very, very helpful to me in terms of last layer. So what you want to do is, instead of doing this, you want to use pinch finger tricks. And also this applies to your entire solve. You want to use finger tricks that are optimal to help you get better turning and TPS. So here I'm going to do a pinch finger trick, R prime D R, and that goes over here. So just U2, R prime D prime R, U prime, R prime D R, and then this goes here, U2 here, this goes here, this goes here. What you'll notice about that is it was regripless. I believe this is the case we had, I'm not sure if it's exact, but yeah, it's completely regripless, this method. Like, you can be that quick with your last layer regardless of how bad your CPLL case is. And I truly think that it's faster than doing stuff like this, just because you don't, like, there's too much going on in my opinion when you put it on the side. So yeah, as I said, it's, in my opinion, just simpler to do it this way. Oh, I kind of messed up at the end, but yeah, you get the point. Those are my 5 tips to summarize. Tip number 1 is locate your star pieces and at least one pair in inspection. And you don't have to solve them in your head, but just locate them at least so you know where to turn. That makes your transitions to each step or each sub-step within a step seamless. Use back inserts throughout your solve, so that enables smarter piece motion and better look ahead. Set a color order and start look ahead very early for that color. So as soon as you're finishing up with F2L, you want to start your S2L look ahead. Don't even wait to finish. Your S2L to last layer transition, which is a very, very important part of remaining seamless and fluid in your solve and getting better finger tricks overall, not just the last layer, but throughout the solve. You want better finger tricks because that enables better turning, higher TPS, all of which contribute to a faster solve. So yeah, that's all for this video. Let me know if you thought this was helpful and if you're able to implement these in your solves if you're not already. And if you are already implementing these, I just recommend doing more solves because honestly that helps way more than you think. And maybe I'll post a Megaminx average when I'm practicing Megaminx, but on an overall, that's what I would say. Let me know if you want to see some walkthrough solves or something like that. I can absolutely do that. And that's all for today's video. So thanks a lot for watching. Take care. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.